Doing great. So today in this video we are going to talk about JPMC interview questions, and this video is contributed by one of our subscriber friend who recently got an opportunity to have to attend an interview with JPMC. So he says that this is the most challenging interview of my career. Like, this is the most challenging interview of the career. And if you see, here is the mail. Last week I have attended the interview with JPMC, and I would like to share my interview experience. I have more than 8 years of experience, and I was applying for Java development role. I don't exactly remember. My entire round was on design pattern, and I was rejected as I was not able to answer half of the questions. Below are the listed questions, and honestly, this was the toughest interview of my career. So this interview was for 8 years experience candidate, and this is for Java developer role. And this I believe the entire round was on design patterns. So if you want to know like what all questions that are being asked for 8 years experience candidate at JPMC, this video would definitely help you. And I believe all the questions are from design patterns only. So let's start the question. First question: what are design patterns, and what are the advantages of Java design patterns? So we can answer it in this way. Like, design patterns are the reusable solutions that solve many problems of software development. These problems include repetitive code, redundant functions, and logic, etc. These help basically. Design patterns help to save considerable effort and time required for the developers while developing software. Design patterns are commonly used in object oriented software products by incorporating the best practices and prompting reusability for development robust code. And coming to the advantages, here are few advantages. They are reusable and can be used in multiple projects. They provide template solutions for defining system architecture. They provide like transparency to software design. They are well tested and proven means of developing robust solutions effortlessly. So this way we can answer like what are the design patterns and what are the advantages. And coming to the next question: what is gang of four or GOF in design patterns, and what are the different types of design patterns in Java? Here basically there are two questions inside one question. So ideally, gang of four are the four superheroes who invented the concept of design pattern. These superheroes are like there are four guys actually. I believe it is Eric Gamma, Ralph Johnson, Richard Hell, and John. I don't remember the next name. Say next name, but there are four people. These people documented the design patterns in a book called Design Patterns. Elements of reusable object oriented software. It was in the year like 1994 or 95. And if the basically these people documented the design pattern how it should be, or else if that book was not written, like a lot of developers today would have faced the difficulty in solving the today's problem. And coming to the different types of design patterns, we have creational design pattern, structural design pattern, and behavioral design pattern. So ideally, creational design pattern, these patterns provide freedom of choice between creating objects by hiding the logic. And coming to structural patterns, these patterns help in defining how the structures of classes and objects should be, like for defining the composition between the classes, interfaces, and objects. And behavioral patterns, and these are basically behavioral patterns helps to define how the object should communicate and interact with one another. Like, some of the examples of creational patterns are prototype design, singleton design, abstract design, or factory design pattern. Coming to example of structural design pattern: adapter design pattern, facade design pattern, decorator design pattern, or proxy design pattern. And coming to behavioral pattern examples, we have command pattern, iterator pattern, observer pattern, and strategy pattern. So this was about the second question. Coming to the next question: name some of the design patterns used in Java JDK library. Okay, so basically we can see decorated pattern are used by wrapper classes. Singleton pattern is used in classes like calendar and runtime. Factory design pattern is used for methods like integer.value of methods in wrapper classes. Observer pattern is used for handling event frameworks like AWT, Swing, etc. So these are the few design patterns that are being used in JDK. Next question: explain what is factory design pattern with real-time usage. So ideally, factory design pattern belongs to a category of creational design pattern. As we said earlier, here the objects are created without exposing the logic of creation to the client. The objects refer to the common interface. So basically we pass a string or based on the string. In the real time usage, we return the object gets returned. So that's how we use in the real time scenario. Is that coming to the next question? Explain what is bridge design pattern with real time usage. So the bridge design pattern is a type of structural design pattern that helps to split large classes or closely related classes into two hierarchies: abstraction and implementation. The hierarchies are independent of each other and are used wherever we need to decouple on abstraction and implementation. This is called bridge design pattern because it acts as a bridge between abstract class and implementation class. In this pattern, the abstract class and implementation class are altered or modified independently without affecting one another. So this about bridge design pattern. Coming to the next question, what is chain of responsibility? In which scenarios to apply this pattern? Oh my god. So chain of responsibility belongs to the category of behavioral design pattern, and that passes requires via a chain of handlers. What Whenever a request is received, the handler decides whether to process the request or pass it to the next handler of the chain. It is used for achieving loose coupling where the client request is passed through an object of chain them. So this was about the chain responsibility pattern. And coming to the next question, explain what is adapter design pattern with real time usage. So the adapter design pattern falls under the category of structural design pattern that lets incompatible objects collaborate. It acts as a wrapper between two different objects. The adapter catches the call for one object and transfer them to recognizable with second object. Like example USB, we can say it catches it transfer from one to another. Next question, explain what is an observer design pattern with real time usage. So observer design pattern basically comes and falls under the behavioral design pattern that is used for defining the way that defining the one to many dependencies between the object. It is the most useful when we want to get notified about any change in the state of an object. In this pattern, when a state of object changes, all the dependent objects that are objects will be notified automatically. The objects whose state is monitored is called the subject, whereas the dependencies are called the observer. In Java, we can implement this pattern by making use of Java util.observable class and Java util.observer interface. So this was the questions, and coming to the question, write a code to achieve thread safe singleton design pattern. So this was the only coding question that was asked as part of this video, like to write a code to achieve thing. Like we basically have to implement a singleton class using a double check thread safety. So that's how we can achieve a thread safe singleton design pattern. And here is the mail, the complete mail that we have received. So you can go through this mail, and honestly this was like all the questions are from design patterns in Java. So this to answer all the questions, it is really tough. Don't know like who was the interviewer, like what was the intention behind the interviewer to ask this type of questions, because honestly asking completely on the design patterns I don't think is right for any Java developer irrespective of their experience. Yeah, asking few questions related to do different data structures or design patterns is fine, but complete round on design patterns and rejecting a candidate is wrong. What I personally feel is, so it's up to the requirement of the project or up to the interviewer, whatever he wants to ask he will ask. So these are the question guys. I hope this video would be helpful for someone who is looking out for interview questions on design patterns, or the interview questions that are being asked at JPMC. And all the best for your interviews. So if you haven't subscribed our channel, please do subscribe, like it, share your interview experience if you want to share it to the given email ID in the description, and please write the comment section and provide us the feedback about the interview. And if you're on a channel for the first time and if you're wondering who are we and what we do, so we are basically a bunch of software engineers who attend interviews with different companies and share our real-time interview experiences. Apart from that, we also share our subscriber friends interview experiences to these videos. And if you're wondering what are the company names that are getting printed on your screen, so these are the companies interviews that we have already shared on your channel. And if you want to take the advantage, you can visit our channel and take the have a look, and you will definitely get benefited, or definitely you will get a lot of good questions at our channel on our channel on different videos. So Thank you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.